Anna Bauert of WWE'S Most Ridiculous with Anna Bauert, exclusive to Fightful.com, presented by Tout. For years now, WWE superstars have been plagued with a simple disease. A disease of the mind which leads to disappointment, disgrace, super kicks to the face. The disease is yet to be identified by the laws of science. However, it is real, it is rife, and it's plaguing the WWE roster. Please donate to WWE's Most Ridiculous with Anna Bauert's fund, Nerd Against Distractions. It is a horrible, alarming phenomenon that needs to stop. Please, open your hearts, open your wallets, open your bank accounts, give us your social security numbers. We need to put an end to the distraction roll-ups. Thank you for your time.
Exclusive to Tout.
This week on Raw, Braun Strowman was given the challenge of facing 4 hands, including Caitlyn's brother, which was really nice to see. Braun Strowman, Raw, killed 3 out of the 4 men. 1 ran away. This is how natural selection works, so good on you. Strowman wasn't satisfied by killing those 3 men, called out Foley, asked for more. He wants to take on the whole locker room. I can't help but think though, where do these 4 good hands go after such an event? They've gone on international TV, they've been humiliated, they've been killed. I get concerned for people. In this instance, my concern isn't necessarily for the 4 good hands. It's more for Harambe himself. I can't help but think of Revenge of the Nerds kind of situation here. Not to call them nerds, because that would just be looking in a mirror. That whole mentality of, standing up to the big guy. David versus Goliath, Jack versus the Beanstalk, Sonny versus Cher. But in these tales, there's always just this one thing, the one weakness that gets him in the end. There's been speculation it might be the rat's tail. Wake up in the middle of the night and you think there's something crawling on your face, so you punch the thing next to you and it turns out it's just Braun Strowman. If one were to be sleeping next to Braun Strowman, but that's not real, because that's like, you just can't touch a god. One might think that maybe it's something to do with the Superman tattoo, maybe possibly if you have kryptonite or soap, or maybe it's the bodybuilding tattoo that he has. It's actually just a representation of his deepest, darkest fear, little people. But ultimately, it kills me to say this, Braun's downfall is to be done for. Ticklebutt, the new Jesus zipper. Alex Palowski reports.
Jeff?
More on that later. Like a bird fly into a moth on a flame, or something like that. He decked the shit out of you and it was awesome. Let's just get one thing straight. This is why you never screw over your lover. We've been through this, man. You had it good. You had Braun Strowman before the Harambe. You have Eric Rowan, who I hope you're still feeding in that basement. At one point, you had Daniel Bryan, the actual GOAT. You managed to abduct a choir and no one pressed charges. That is unheard of nowadays. You were on top of the world, of the underworld. But on top of it, you had it all. But you didn't have the snake. Sure, you have Miss Thing at the moment, but how long is this gonna last? I mean, it's kind of suggested in his name. So now we're here. Luke Harper versus Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber. Bray on a pole. Who will be the victor? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. Shit is getting real up in SmackDown Live. This week we somehow managed to travel 20 years back in time. Natty is relentless. She's acting like Luke Harper should be acting, like a woman scorned. But for what reason? Natty says Nikki will probably never have kids, John will never marry her, that she's going to grow old alone and ugly and die. Nikki says that Natty keeps hitting her below the belt, which is probably the cause of why she'll never have kids. And then Natty brings up, if Natalya wasn't married, John Cena would probably be with her. Natty, I think we just got to the core of the issue here. Baddie Natty's got it in the pants for John Cena. Sure, Natalya is married to Tyson Kidd. Some might say that John Cena is Tyson Kidd in 20 years' time. I just fear for where this is going for Nikki Bella. She already got her face implanted in the glass table. Legit, you could just see like an imprint of her makeup. I think one of her implants also was like a suction cup and just kind of Nikki and John are going to wake up one morning and there's a decapitated pair of jorts at the foot of the bed, lining everywhere. It's like a massacre. Nikki's going to come home and find John Cena shaved and in a pot, not quite boiled because he won't fit. But, he would have a very sore foot. And in the end, once the cops are finally called, they're just going to go to Natty and TJ's house and then find TJ locked in this room full of American Girl dolls styled exactly like Nikki Bella, and he's just stuck in there all day feeding them and grooming them and having tea parties, because I hope Nikki invested in a good pair of bulletproof implants. England has come to 205 Live. King Arthur versus Sir Galahad. The Hobbit Boy versus Saruman, but kind of in reverse, I think. The Cruiserweight Championship match at Fastlane is going to be Neville versus Jack Gallagher. Quite literally, good versus evil. Neville. I'm excited. I'm delighted. I would like to accept this award on behalf of all the fans out there. If the Queen were allowed into America at this point, I'm sure she would love to sit there and watch this. It's going to be beautiful. Monday Night Raw was quite an episode. I have never felt this much emotion before in my life. That's nothing new. I don't normally feel a lot. But this was being like on a roller coaster in a glass case of emotion kind of intensity. There were tears of joy, tears of sorrow, tears of beauty at Jericho's bejeweled scarf. Just when I think I couldn't love anymore. We nearly had a Jericho breakup, thanks to one Bill Goldberg, if that's your real name. But the greatest couple of all time managed to pull it together, and next week, they're getting married. They're calling it the Festival of Friendship. They're going to be in Vegas. They can get married at the Chapel of Love by Elvis. Jericho can have on one of those Kiss the Bride t-shirts that's actually like a bikini body. Jericho can wear the top hat and tails. The list can be the ring bearer. Strippers or clowns, clown strippers. It's Vegas, anything goes. Or the Royal roster would have to be there to watch them because, you know, greatest couple of all time, and it'd be despicable if you didn't turn up. Sami Zayn, I guess, would be an exception because, you know, the whole always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That aside, I feel like this will be the wedding of the century. And in terms of WWE weddings, well, it's no Taker Steph, but, you know, it's up there. Probably a lot more ethical as well. Definitely a good thing. I just think this will be really magical. And this way, no matter what happens, they are forever bound by the state of Nevada and one Mr. Elvis Presley. It's beautiful.